Do you know what makes you special? Follow and subscribe to the special Fallout series show now so you can find out. And enjoy the following episode of the special Fallout series show. Welcome back to another episode of the special Fallout series show. I'm your host, Mikey, and today I am bringing you my instant reaction to Season 1, Episode 5, The Past. All right, and this was, a fun episode because it had a lot of intrigue into it, right? A lot of mystery. Again, I like that this is actually very similar to the video game as well. When you're doing all these side quests, you start a quest and there's some mystery to it, right? And it builds more and more and more, and it just keeps adding more lore to the game and adding more story and more depth of story in the world. And they are just, at this point, this is episode 5, so we've just past the halfway point, so we were kind of slowly ramping up, but now I feel like it's really getting to the point where here it grabs you, right? It has to have grabbed you by now, and really has you, wondering, okay, what is going on in this world? What is going on in the world of the vaults? What's going on in the world of the surface dwellers? And just how, dark is it on both sides of things. We kind of get the glimpse of that in this episode, right? But, really, again, everything else about this episode, all the normal stuff is great in this, right? The acting, the costuming, the sound effects are good in this as well. In this one we open up with Maximus still with his squire here in this one, and man, this Maximus just cannot get his stuff together, right? He can't. I don't know why he just keeps messing up, and it's like, come on, guy. You're deciding to tell people the truth when you shouldn't tell them the truth. You're lying to people when you shouldn't be lying to them. Like, what are you doing here? You're gonna stumble. Like, I'm very worried for Maximus, because all this stumbling on, telling truths, half truths, and straight up lying. I just don't know how it's gonna, work out for him. He's gonna just keep getting himself into worse and worse situations, because we see how bad the situation is that he got himself into the beginning of this. I mean, he got lucky that Lucy showed up and was able to help out, right? And then he was able to help her as well. They were both in a state of desperation to to be able to trust each other. And that is another thing that is very, they did a great job of showing that when Lucy shows up, she's only been on the surface for a week, and she's already learned, hey, people are not to be trusted up here. And the only reason why you might lend your trust to somebody is if you are in desperate need of something, right? So I thought they did a great job of kind of showing that. And then we went back to inside the vault, and again here, this is where we get to see so much of the beginning of this mystery and intrigue of our Lucy's brother Norm. He is just so curious and wants to know, okay, well, what's really going on over there? or what happened over there in Vault 32. So he goes over and checks it out for himself. And yeah, it's we don't know what is going on over there exactly, but it definitely seems, you know, what we were to believe that the Raiders just showed up randomly. Maybe that's not the case, and I don't know. Maybe there's something else, behind what happened and darker going on. But we don't really get answers in this one. And again, it keeps you intrigued and keeps you wanting to keep following the series so that we can figure out this mystery of, okay, what really is going on over here. We see in this one, the democratic process being played out in the vault, and that there was some funny stuff in that with the character Davy and him telling people who he's going to vote for and what he's voting for and why, and then just straight out saying, okay, well, I'm not voting for you, basically. Like that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, again, just some more great comedic delivery that we're getting out of the vault dwellers. Then we kind of we get to see the curiosity of Norm. Just take him. He keeps digging further and further, and he figures out, like, hey, there's something. Not only did something really weird or something really bad happen in 32, and there's like something weird about it. It doesn't seem quite like it seems like there's more to it. Now he's finding out because there's this vault setup that they have is 31, 32, and 33, and they're all kind of like in some sort of like group mutual beneficial thing between the three vaults that are so close together here, right? But then he discovers something weird is going on with 31 as well. How come it's always somebody from Vault 31 that gets voted as overseer? So now we're really intrigued. Okay, like, we saw the democratic process being played out earlier, but is it really is is the process being cheated? We have to wonder that. We see some great moments in here again where Lucy just continues to learn. We thought we saw at the beginning that she's learning that people are not to be trusted here on the surface, and she's trying to work out a way to make it so you can work along with people up here on the surface. But even when you think that you've come to a solution, it doesn't always work up here on the surface. Like, people don't just like play by the rules because you came up with some fancy rule that you decided would be a good idea. If they see that you got something that they want, they will go ahead and go back on their word in an instant. And this cost them, like, they had to kill these two people on the bridge, and Maximus gets wounded. Like, oh. Back in the vault, Norm just being again more curious throughout this episode. I'm just really loving this character, how he's continuing to question authority here and what's going on, and really wants to know what's behind what's going on here. Even questioning, now he's questioning his father, because that his father's originally from Vault 31. So, he's gonna, there's the woman, um Stephanie, the one that just had the baby. She's also from 31, so he questions her, and she, again, very mysterious. She doesn't really have any real explanation of, hey, what is Vault 31 like? His dad never really explained anything to him. She's not really explaining anything. It's all kind of, weird how they don't know anything about it, yet they're all supposed to be in like this mutual beneficial, um group together. And then, um you know th we get to see here later on to Lucy, just like really how, yeah, being in the vaults, like naive she is to the surface and what has been happening on the surface. um she learns that there's been other bombings since the bombings that originally caused the wastelands in the first place. And we find Maximus, now we know he survived one of these bombings, and that's how he came to the Brotherhood. And yeah, we see the devastation, and yeah, people are still getting their hands on, even in this world, somehow people are getting their hands on devastating weapons, and still ruining the lives for, even just like Maximus says, everybody wants to make the world better, but nobody has, nobody's in agreement on how to get that done. And then yeah, I mean, again, the rest of the episode is just kind of continues the mystery of what's happening in the vault. And then we see Maximus and Lucy end up going into a hospital that, again, they get put in a trap, and then it leads them to a vault. So again, very mysterious. Like, how come there's a place that you can walk into and leads, drops you into a vault in the first place? Aren't they trying to keep outsiders out of the vaults? Like, why is there a place that drops you into a vault? Very interesting. But yeah, again, I'm really, really loving the episodes now. I was already liking before, but now, again, like I said, we're in the back half of the season now, so it was really ramping up, and I'm having a ton of fun watching it, and I can't wait to get to the final 3 episodes that I have left now. But let me know what you thought of this episode specifically. I want to know, what did you think of this episode? The acting, the story, the the world building. How are you feeling about all of it up to this point? Right, make sure you leave those comments, and then I want to continue this conversation. Leave comments, whatever you want to talk about. Fallout series on Prime here related, leave it in the comments and let's chat. Okay, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave those comments, hit follow. For podcast listeners, hit the follow or subscribe button, leave a 5-star rating and a written review, because it helps the show grow. And thank you for listening to the special Fallout series show, where we know what makes you special, and it is listening to the special Fallout series show.